Good evening. It's Friday, February 5th. I'm going to, I guess I'm going to talk about a couple topics. And then my next video, I am going to have a revelation about this situation. I sat and I was thinking, is it disrespectful to air out this man's laundry? No. Because even if you find out who I am, my name is on here. Even if you find out who I am, it is not likely that you know who I'm talking about. Unless he would like that to be known. The reason that I continue to use this relationship as a reference point is because it is the most eye-opening relationship that I ever had in my life. By the simple fact that I wanted this individual so badly that I was required to find why the fuck I was the problem. Because I definitely was equally a problem. Where he was doing something wrong, I was doing something wrong. And we'll get more into what I was doing wrong very soon. A little bit today. But this is how we ended our relationship. We ended our relationship on a complete projection. And we'll start with the projections, and then we'll start with the causes of those projections. So, I'm going to take my info from the book, What to Do When a Parent's Love Rules Your Life, by Patricia Love. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for reading her stuff. I try not to use too much of it and basically just use my own understanding and keep inviting you all to read the books so that way I don't do too much plagiarizing of her work, because it was really profound and it deserves its own read. You should not be listening to me. You need to go pay Audible, pay Amazon, whoever you gotta pay to make sure that you support this author. But here are some common projections collected from my work with couples. And the name of this is called Turning Off the Projector. And we'll start over. We'll start from the beginning of this chapter. So it says, turning off the projector. When a person grows up in an enmeshed family, it's often difficult to tell where one person begins and the other leaves off. When dad is sad, daughter is sad. When mom is angry, son feels guilty. When stepmother is depressed, daughter feels worthless. Many a chosen child feels connected at the mind with a parent. Years later, this mental fusion gets transferred to the husband or wife and causes a host of difficulties. Now, my relationship wasn't that deep, but it presents itself very early on in a relationship, especially when one of the partners knows that there's an issue with the other partner. So, what are some of these projections? And another reason that I use this individual is because we have proof of some of the things that were said to me. So it makes it even easier, So watching these videos, all I could say is watch them in order, because there is method to my system and what I decide to talk on and where I'm going with it. So go back, watch some of the other videos. You want to watch December 26th, and you want to watch August 26th and you want to watch all of them. You want to watch all of them. Because it's coming to a head here when I open this book. So, one of the projections is you are not in this relationship. The translation is I am only partially committed to you. The rest of me belongs to daddy, mother, work, or children. Projection, you never listen to me. Translation, I don't listen to you. I only want to hear what I want to hear. Projection, you are rude to me. I have my own brand of rudeness is the translation. I may not interrupt you when you are talking, but I will make plans without consulting you. Projection, you are in denial. Translation, I am better at seeing your problems than my own. Projection, you need therapy. Translation, I need help, but I'm afraid to get it. And what was really interesting, I did get a lot of these, but what's interesting is because I lack boundaries, I have very loose boundaries. This is how we got in this situation. But both of us had loose boundaries. And we'll discuss that more. But because of the loose boundaries that I had, everything he said, I was able to echo back. No, I don't listen to you. You're right. Next time I will listen. I do need therapy. You are so right. You are so helpful. You listen to me so much. I started to echo back what he was saying, so therefore he was getting enabled to continue to project. That's where I went wrong in one part. I went wrong in a lot of spaces, but this is kind of where our relationship left off a couple times. More than once. One time it was, I don't know how to communicate. Once I got upset. And I did go off on him. I was wrong for going off on him, but he did not realize that he was projecting a negative response. So the author writes, I've been guilty of projecting a negative response onto my husband more than I can count. Some of you may find this behavior totally foreign, and others will know exactly what I'm talking about. But whether or not you share this particular malady with me, you can be sure that a high proportion of your negative thoughts and feelings about your partner have more to do with you than the person you're married to. The sooner you realize this, the better your relationship will be. Projections do a great deal of harm to relationships. They create distance when you desire closeness. They block progress by masking the real issues. They make it difficult to sort out the true nature of your problems. Begin now to search for ways in which you may be blurring the boundaries between you and your partner. The more thoughts and feelings you are able to claim as your own, the healthier your relationship will be. So, I was called negative quite a bit, emotional and negative, and I was emotional, but I didn't start the relationship that way. I was emotional, but I think it was in proper bounds. But let's talk about how it started with me. The spouse of the chosen child. Okay, so when the chosen child grows up and marries, another person stumbles into the quagmire. the spouse of the chosen child, girlfriend, boyfriend, potential partner, because like I said, these things present themselves immediately. These are all red flags. They were all there, but not understanding the red flags is what makes it easy to, you don't know what, I didn't know this is what was happening, and he didn't either. Clearly. It's okay. I'm not angry. I know this morning's video was like really intense, and I was all like, ah. But watching the video itself was really hard for me. So I apologize for that energy. But I have a lot of sympathy for a person who marries one of us chosen children because we can be larger than life. Our joys and problems appear boundless and overrun the concerns of our spouses, and our crazy mixture of high and low self-esteem can drive them to distraction. I recently interviewed a grown-up daddy's girl, that's what I am, who made this candid assessment of herself. I know I'm difficult to live with. There is an all-encompassing quality to me. I take up so much room in our marriage with all of my emotions. It's almost like there isn't room for my husband. I swamp him with my needs. When the kids draw pictures of us, they draw me half as large as they draw him. I'm clearly the star of the family, and he's the supporting actor. Accustomed to being the focus of a parent's attention, the chosen child naturally assumes center stage. Now, the beginning of this relationship, it wasn't like that. It was very balanced at the beginning. There's a reason that balance shifted, though. So, towards the end is when my needs started to be center, but we'll get into that. So what happens when two chosen children meet? What happens when a mama's boy meets a daddy's girl? She worked with a man and a woman who were contemplating divorce primarily because the husband, a chosen child, kept constant vigil on his boundaries. The smallest request from his wife would trigger a security alarm. For instance, one of her requests was that her husband call her every day when his business took him out of town. She often felt abandoned by him, and this was one way she could feel more connected. Someone who has abandonment issues and feels abandoned by someone who would not do this would look absolutely needy as shit, even when they aren't. My requests are not grandiose. I actually need very little. There's a video coming about joy. I know joy. I can take joy in very simple pleasures. So I didn't really ask this man for a lot. I probably should have asked for more. But again, I have loose boundaries. I did. So I didn't ask for much more than that. As soon as she stated her request, her husband was up in arms. It was a violation of his rights and his autonomy to agree in advance when and if he should call her. She was asking too much. She was always asking too much. How could he survive if she was always dictating the terms of his life? This seemingly innocent request for one phone call a day tapped into a lifetime of frustration with an invasive mother. He was willing to make a legal commitment to marriage, but not an emotional one. He was not willing to couple. He went through life as if he and his wife were two single people living in the same house, and this distance kept him safe from his unconscious fear of engulfment. So if you have a daddy's girl who is all encompassing, and she meets a mama's boy whose absolute fear is all encompassing, they don't mix. But the two people actually probably could mix. It's these issues that don't. I don't know. You will see me on here talking about these things and smiling and laughing because it really is just that simple. And knowing that I'm spreading the word of how simple this is to fix, right? And identify. Like, it just brings me so much joy, for real. Like, do you see? Proof is in the pudding, baby. And that's... It's joyful because I know that whoever I end up with is going to have these issues and I can help them work on it. I can work on it myself. You know, I am working on it. But that right there caused a myriad of problems from the jump before other problems. There's two. And they both have to do with the realm of sex. And so, that is it for this video. I did 2 in a day again. Oh, shit. Now I'm gonna groom. My hair, you see this? What is this? What is this right here? Why is all this happening? I love my hair though, but it just grows so crazy and does its own thing. It's like literally tree branches and leaves on my head, in my opinion. Anyway, I wonder what I'm gonna name this video because I thought of the content, but not really a name for it. Anyway, good evening. Peaceful fast.